Have you ever wondered why the rich read Proverbs, the book written by King Solomon, considered the wisest and most prosperous man in history? Perhaps without realizing it, you have been searching for shortcuts. Yet the timeless principles of genuine prosperity have never been hidden. They have always been right in front of us. Proverbs is not merely ancient poetry or religious text. It is a practical handbook of financial intelligence, disciplined wealth building, strategic foresight, and biblical wisdom applied to money and life. How many times have impulsive choices cost you valuable opportunities? How often have you felt trapped in endless labor, unaware that freedom and wealth begin with understanding wisdom rather than working harder alone? Today you are about to uncover the hidden truths within Proverbs, forgotten principles that elevate servants into kings and teach how to build wealth with purpose, both practically and spiritually. Stay with me until the end of this message, because every insight drawn from Solomon's counsel reveals concealed riches capable of reshaping how you see money, business, and life itself. By the time we finish, you may finally understand why the wealthy study Proverbs, and you might realize that the next person to prosper through wisdom could be you. Lesson 1. Prudence in Business. Proverbs 14:15. A prudent man considers his steps. Solomon cautions us that wisdom begins with restraint. A prudent individual evaluates every decision before taking action. This truth directly applies to business, investing, and financial growth. Solomon's insight reveals that haste undermines biblical prosperity, leading to careless and expensive mistakes. Notice how many people fall into debt not because income is lacking, but because restraint is missing. Acting without thought is like planting seeds in barren soil while expecting an instant harvest. Prudence, in real terms, is applied financial intelligence. It involves assessing risks, weighing alternatives, and refusing to be driven solely by emotions. Those who invest without reflection often become victims of avoidable ignorance. How many purchases have you made simply because others were doing the same? If Solomon were evaluating your decisions today, what verdict would he give regarding those rushed choices? The reason the wealthy return to Proverbs is simple. They understand that discipline and prosperity grow together. Prudence is not fear, it is strategy. It recognizes that every financial decision contributes to the legacy you are building. Those who launch ventures without careful planning construct their future on unstable ground, while those who seek biblical wisdom about money establish themselves on a solid foundation. Prudence does not remove risk, but it controls it. Consider the farmer who studies the sky before sowing seed. He cannot command the weather, but he can choose the proper season. In the same way, a wise entrepreneur cannot predict every outcome, yet he prepares his ground to endure storms. This is why Proverbs and prosperity remain inseparable. Imagine how many opportunities might have opened had you waited for the right moment. How many losses could have been avoided if your steps had been measured more carefully? Prudence in business is not a delay, it is a powerful accelerator. And this is where Solomon's next lesson naturally unfolds, because true wealth is not found in gold itself, but in the wisdom that comes before it. Lesson 2. Wisdom is greater than gold. Proverbs 3:15. She is more precious than rubies. Solomon teaches that God-given wisdom surpasses all material riches. This is not a rejection of wealth, nor a denial of prosperity. Rather, it is a declaration that without discernment, even vast fortunes slip away like grains of sand through open fingers. How many stories exist of people who gained wealth rapidly, only to lose everything within a short time? The problem was never the absence of money. The missing ingredient was wisdom applied to decision-making. Those who truly understand Proverbs recognize that investing in understanding and discernment yields greater returns than chasing quick profits. Money can purchase possessions, but wisdom purchases time, stability, and peace. If for just 7 days you chose learning over spending, reflection over impulse, how differently might your financial life look? The teachings of Proverbs regarding wealth are not theoretical. They are time-tested strategies. In modern living, this means prioritizing spiritual financial education, reviewing biblical principles before signing agreements, and thinking carefully before accumulating debt. Solomon's financial intelligence was not focused solely on accumulation, but on recognizing that wealth without purpose is hollow. That is why those who prosper return to Proverbs, to align their thinking before expanding their resources. Observe the contrast. Many chase shortcuts, miracle systems, and promises of overnight riches. The wise choose patience, seek counsel, and strengthen their understanding. Solomon likens wisdom to rubies because it is rare, valuable, and not easily obtained. It requires ongoing pursuit. Like the virtuous woman described in Proverbs, wisdom must be valued and cultivated daily. Here is the shift that changes everything. Once you grasp that wisdom comes before wealth, opportunities begin to appear that others overlook. Wealth is no longer something to hoard for appearance, but something to build with intention. And this naturally leads to the next truth Solomon teaches. Because wisdom without discipline produces nothing. Diligence is the hand that converts potential into harvest. Nikor. Lesson 3. Discipline and work. Proverbs 10:4. A lazy hand makes one poor, but a diligent hand brings wealth. Solomon reminds us through timeless wisdom that prosperity does not emerge by accident. Wealth is the result of consistency, not coincidence. Biblical prosperity is never built on impulse or idleness, but on steady, disciplined effort applied day after day. How often have you imagined abundance without fully committing to the work required to sustain it? Solomon observed that laziness behaves like rust. It quietly eats away at opportunities and slowly destroys financial futures. Discipline forms the bridge between intention and outcome. This is why those who study Proverbs understand that a diligent hand does more than labor. It constructs lasting value. Diligence is not speed, it is reliability. It is showing up daily to sharpen the blade even when there is no visible reward. And if for 7 days you chose consistency over comfort, perseverance over delay, how might your future shift? In practical terms, discipline extends beyond physical labor. It is Solomon's financial intelligence expressed through small, repeated habits. It is learning to manage spending, preparing for tomorrow, and resisting the pull of immediate gratification. How many businesses collapse because leaders attempt to harvest what they never planted? Proverbs concerning money teach that steady effort clears the path to hidden riches. Solomon illustrates this principle through simple yet enduring imagery. He speaks of the ant, without supervisor or command, storing provision during the summer to survive the winter. This metaphor has endured for centuries because it captures a universal truth. Discipline today safeguards tomorrow. Prosperity and Proverbs remain connected because both acknowledge harvest as a natural result of faithful consistency. Here is the revelation many overlook. Discipline creates freedom. While the undisciplined become servants to circumstances, the diligent gain authority over their destiny. This kingly mindset distinguishes those who rule their outcomes from those who react to them. Yet discipline alone is incomplete without emotional mastery. To grow fully, one must also learn to govern the inner life. This is precisely what the next proverb reveals. True strength is not proven on the battlefield, but within the self. Lesson 4. Emotional control. Proverbs 16:32. Better a patient person than a warrior. Solomon reveals a counterintuitive truth that defies human instinct. Self-mastery surpasses military conquest. In a world driven by urgency and emotional decision-making, Solomon teaches that patience and emotional stability form the true crown of wisdom. How many opportunities have slipped away because decisions were made in moments of frustration or excitement? Haste, much like anger, causes servants to squander what kings preserve. Those who read Proverbs understand that emotional control outweighs any deal signed in excitement or fear. When emotions are mastered, manipulation loses its power. Fear no longer dictates action, and greed no longer blinds judgment. Consider this. If over the past 7 days you had paused instead of reacting, waited instead of rushing, how much money and peace might you have retained? The principle within financial Proverbs is straightforward. A composed mind recognizes opportunities that anxious hearts fail to see. In practical life, this means refusing to sell investments out of panic or entering ventures simply because others are doing so. Biblical financial wisdom begins with inner calm because desperation often forces people to exchange future value for immediate relief. Solomon understood that quiet wealth is built through patience, not display. Emotional control also strengthens alliances. One reckless statement can dissolve years of trust, while a measured response can preserve relationships and open doors to future prosperity. Proverbs extend beyond personal finance into business and leadership. Solomon teaches that those who govern themselves win victories that armies cannot achieve. This inner authority sustains wealth across generations. Without emotional mastery, discipline loses direction and prudence loses strength. But when patience governs the heart, every step gains stability. And this is why Solomon leads us forward. Waiting alone is not sufficient. Wisdom must be paired with direction. The seasoned warrior knows when to pause, but the prosperous king also knows how to plan. Lesson 5. Strategic Planning. Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Solomon teaches that prosperity is never the product of improvisation. Wealth is built through clarity, foresight, and preparation. Proverbs reveal that abundance does not arise from chance, but from intentional planning. How many people spend their entire lives responding to financial crises simply because they never established a clear direction? Without planning, even the most promising harvest can be wasted. Those who apply Proverbs to wealth construct their lives with the care of an architect, designing each detail with permanence in mind. The wealthy who study Proverbs understand that biblical financial planning is not optional, it is foundational. Every resource must serve a purpose, and every decision must be weighed through the lens of wisdom. Imagine if you dedicated just 7 days to tracking expenses and reflecting on financial choices. How many recurring mistakes could be corrected before they grow costly? Planning shifts a life from scarcity into stability. It allows future needs to be addressed before they become emergencies. Strategic thinking looks beyond today's rewards and considers tomorrow's responsibility. Like the farmer who plants with the next season already in view, the wise investor seeks returns that endure for generations. This is the dividing line between survival and legacy. Those who prosper do not guess their future, they design it. In daily practice, planning means organizing obligations, structuring investments, and preparing reserves for uncertain seasons. Solomon understood that life moves in cycles of abundance and challenge, and only those who prepare in advance remain steady. Planning functions like an anchor during storms. It does not prevent difficulty, but it ensures stability. This biblical wisdom concerning money remains relevant across centuries. Yet Solomon does not leave us with calculations alone. He shows that planning gains meaning when it serves a purpose greater than accumulation. True strategy is not merely about storing wealth, it is about sowing it. This leads directly to the next principle: generosity, the force that turns wealth into lasting harvest, not only for oneself, but for all. Lesson 6. Generosity and Harvest. Proverbs 11:25. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Solomon presents a principle that contradicts natural instinct. Giving increases rather than diminishes. Biblical prosperity does not grow from greed, but from generosity. Now, many assume that giving results in loss. Yet Proverbs reveals the opposite. Those who sow freely reap abundantly. How often have you clung tightly to resources out of fear, only to discover that it was never enough anyway? Those who return to Proverbs understand that wealth with purpose surpasses accumulation, driven by ego. Generosity unlocks unseen opportunities, strengthens relationships, and builds networks of support. What if for 7 days you help someone without expecting repayment? How might that shift your perspective and your future? This practice reflects Solomon's financial intelligence in action. Investing in people yields returns no amount of money alone can secure. Generosity extends beyond finances. It includes time, knowledge, and access. The entrepreneur who elevates partners multiplies results. The parent who teaches wisdom passes on an inheritance that outlasts money. Solomon understood that prosperity and Proverbs are inseparable. The more value one creates for others, the greater the resulting harvest. Generosity also guards against the captivity of greed. A miser lives in constant lack, regardless of abundance. A generous person rests confident that their source lies not in what is withheld, but in what is planted. This biblical approach to money transforms servants into rulers, because those who give wisely reign over increase. Here lies the connecting truth. Generosity reveals the condition of the heart. Faithfulness in sharing precedes faithfulness in multiplying. Yet Solomon issues a warning. Giving with one hand while taking dishonestly with the other produces no harvest. True abundance requires a firm foundation, and that foundation is integrity. Lesson 7. Integrity as a foundation. Proverbs 28:6. Better is the poor who walks in integrity than the rich who is crooked. Solomon concludes this chain of wisdom by emphasizing that prosperity is not measured solely in wealth, but in character. History is filled with individuals who amassed fortunes only to lose everything because integrity was absent. Biblical prosperity differs from worldly gain. It values a clear conscience as highly as material success and builds wealth that lasts across generations. Those who understand Proverbs recognize that wealth without integrity becomes a trap. Each dishonest decision weakens the foundation of a financial legacy until collapse is inevitable. Integrity, by contrast, preserves strength and attracts trust. If Solomon examined your choices today, would he see a servant ruled by deception or a king governed by truth? Integrity in daily life means honoring commitments, refusing exploitation, and maintaining principles even when unseen. This separates fragile structures from enduring fortresses. Proverbs teaches that purposeful wealth requires firm pillars: truth, justice, and honor. Integrity also protects peace of mind. Those who deceive live in fear of exposure, while the upright rest securely. That peace is a form of wealth no currency can equal. Solomon understood that true kingship begins within. A ruler enslaved by corruption is no ruler at all. Thus, we arrive at the unseen foundation of prosperity. Without integrity, planning collapses, discipline weakens, and generosity loses meaning. But when faith and character support every decision, multiplication follows naturally. This prepares us for the final reflection. You are now invited to examine your life and decide whether to continue accumulating debt or begin accumulating wisdom. Solomon made one truth unmistakably clear. Prosperity is sustained by principles, not shortcuts. Wealth grows through wise decisions, not fleeting impulses. Will you continue on the same path, or will you choose differently? With each decision, you move closer to lasting legacy or ongoing confusion. How often have choices been made without consulting wisdom? How many times have haste, pride, or emotion dictated outcomes? Proverbs reveal that transformation begins when invisible principles are practiced daily: character, discipline, patience, and purpose. This is what separates rulers from servants. This is what sustains biblical prosperity when every other formula fails. Reflect carefully. Are you living only to accumulate, or are you building something that will endure? Are you seeking wealth that fades or hidden riches that bless generations? If Solomon were observing your life today, what counsel would he give? This moment can mark the beginning of a new chapter. It is not merely about money, but about purposeful wealth, ancient wisdom applied to everyday decisions. The financial education found in Proverbs leads to balance, quiet abundance, inner peace, and meaningful impact on family and community. The choice belongs to you. Repeat old patterns or follow the timeless guidance that has shaped kings and merchants alike. If you desire to apply biblical wisdom for money in practical ways, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and remain connected for future teachings. Every message here shares Solomon's counsel for both financial and spiritual growth. The legacy you envision begins with one deliberate step, and that step can be taken today.